wonderful last couple of weeks here in our little extended time off. Here is our just one assignment for the week. Hopefully you're able to get it done, and if you weren't able to, then hey, we can go through it right now. Before we start, I do want to encourage you that when you are finished with both last week's assignment and this week's assignment, that you turn it in on Canvas. Turning it on Canvas is going to let me see that you were here, and it will kind of actually override attendance for those days, as long as you get it in before the end of the week next week. So pretty important for you to get it in. Love to see it happen. And I appreciate the effort you guys have gone through. Quite a few students have emailed me saying, hey, I didn't get the stuff last week. Can I get some help? Had one or two people come to that the Google Meet. Yeah. Anyways, hope you guys are having a good one. I'm going to get right to it. So here we go. Find the slope of each line. So there are two main ways to find the slope. And I want to go over both of them really quick just to remind you as to how to do it. There's the visual way. Let's do the visual way. The visual way is going to be the rise over the run. Remember, that is the change in y over the change in x. So we just need to figure out how much is x changed by, how much is y changed by. I got to figure out both of them. So y, right here, it has gone down 1. We would say just one little hop going down between those two. And because it's down, specifically in this case, it is -1. And then if it's going over 1, 2 to the right, that is our easy peasy slope. Now, the reason why I said we are going to need to know both is because of this next problem down here, this number 2. Number 2 is going to require us to know the other way to find slope. And the other way to find slope is using our equation m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. The second y minus the first y divided by the second x minus the first x. And here, it wants us to find the value of x, so this is true. So what we're going to do is we're going to make that the slope. That's 1/5. We're going to make that equal to -8, our second y value. By the way, you're confused about this, I'm going to go ahead and label this x1, y1, x2, y2. There you go. So we're doing y2 minus y1. And my camera seems to be a little bit blurry in the bottom there. I'm going to try to focus it. It's being a little bit temperamental. What if I kind of went down a little bit? I don't know why it's being so temperamental. Oh well, it's gonna have to be. All right, so we're gonna take that -8 minus -6 divided by -6 minus the x, that thing we don't know. So let's go ahead and simplify. -8 minus a negative is adding, so -8 plus 6 is -2 over -6 minus x. Then we're going to go ahead and do that cross multiplication thing that so many students like doing here. Multiply this guy up there, multiply that guy over there. So we have 1 times -6 minus x equals 5 multiplied by -2. I'm going to carry it on over here. 1 times anything is itself, so I don't really have to do any work for that. Equals -10. Then let's do our little switcheroo action here. Let's move this x to the right, that -10 to the left. -6 plus 10 equals positive x, because we're moving it over there. -6 plus 10 is 4, is equal to our value of x there. First two problems knocked out. Let's go on to the next page. So over this next one, it says that we have to solve each equation by graphing. So this one, I wanted to make it kind of at the same time as easy as possible and also make sure that we truly remembered how to do something. So it's as easy as possible because we have this x equals -4, which is not even a lot of thinking for graphing it. So let's see what I mean, just in case you were struggling with this problem. I'm just going to do 4 tick marks. I'm going to do the full 5. So we're going to go out to 8. Big tick mark at 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here we go. Man, oh man. Don't know what you guys were doing over break, but played a lot of video games. I beat a Zelda game. Proud of myself for that. Took a little bit of time there. It was the Link's Awakening on the Switch. I stole it from my sister when I saw her, because she also got her vaccination. So there you go. All right, keep it on going here. So x equals -4. So that one right here, I'm going to go ahead and switch colors. We're going to do that one in pink. So this is our pink line. And x equals -4 is right here. That's where x is -4. And you literally just draw a vertical line. It's that easy. If I can make my ruler line up correctly. Come on. Put arrows on the end, as always. There's our x equals -4. And now y equals 1 over 4x minus 1. What does that mean? It means that our our slope, is 1/4. That means we're going up 1 and to the right 4. And this means our starting coordinate is 0, -1. And I don't know why I was writing that in pink, because I have to graph it in a different color. We're going to go with this cutesy little blue. 0, -1 is down there, and then we're going to the right, up 1 and to the right 4. So up 1 to the right 4 is going to give us right here. And likewise, we could also go down 1 and to the left 4. You just play connect the dots. Oop. Come on, Mr. Richards. Why'd you do that? Why did you do that? Okay. Okay. Anyways, answer the problem is always where they intersect, which appears to be the coordinate -4, comma, -2. Easy peasy. All right, let's go to the next one. So solve each system by substitution. So substitution is when you solve an equation for a specific letter, and then you take that equation and substitute it into the other equation. So we're going to take that -7 at the start here, and we're going to move it to the right-hand side and make it y is equal to +7x, so we're moving it to the right. Don't have to write the 0 because it's just 0. It's kind of meaningless. And now we're going to take that 7x and plug it in for y right there. And we just have to simplify and solve. So -7x plus 28x equals -21. -728 is +21x. Then divide both sides by 21. And therefore x equals -1. But we're not done with the whole problem. Don't forget there's always 2 parts to these, the x and the y. So we're going to take that -1, plug it in for x here. And then that gives us y equal -7. And for our final overall answer, we write it as an ordered pair, -1, comma, -7. Here we go. There we go. Solve each system by elimination. So elimination is when you have to do quite a few things here. We're going to have to line everything up. So we line the x's up, line the y's up, line the constants up. After we've lined everything up, we have to multiply by a number of some kind so that we can eliminate a variable. So this one is actually kind of already lined up for us. Negative 9x plus 5y equals negative 12 if we just rearrange it using the symmetric property that's called, when we simply say, hey, we already have that, and we're just going to completely switch sides of the equation. It's writing the same exact thing, but we're just, again, copying that guy on the left, copying that guy on the right. But these two, not in the correct order, so we need that negative 3 to be on the left. So we're going to take that guy, move it over here, and this negative 3, going to move it to the right. So negative 3 moved to the left over here is going to be positive 3x, copy the negative 2y equals positive 3. Don't forget, guys, this is a video, so if I'm going too fast, you're always allowed to pause, take a breather, take a break, go get a glass of water, get a snack, tell your sister to be quiet, whatever it is you got to do. And then now we can get back to work. So we have to eliminate a variable. So to eliminate, we have to figure out what number we're multiplying by, or if we have to multiply both equations. With a little bit of noticing, you can multiply the bottom by 3 to get up to negative 9. If you didn't notice that, you could have multiplied the top by 2 and the bottom by 5 to cancel out the y's. Either way, we're going to go ahead and multiply this bottom equation by 3, so that 3 is going to every single term. I'm going to go ahead and do that. So we got 9x minus 6y equals 9. And then we got to copy the top equation. And then we just have to add. When we add those up, these guys cancel out. Negative 6y plus 5 is negative 1y, or just negative y, is equal to, let's put the negative 1. Let's make it negative 1y. Equals negative 3. 9 minus 12 is negative 3. Divide both sides by negative 1. We'll get y is equal to positive 3. Just like before, we now need to substitute that y in. We can substitute it anywhere that we'd like to. I'm going to arbitrarily choose the original equation here, this negative 2 times 3. So I'm making that y right there 3. Minus 3 equals negative 3x. Negative 6 minus 3 equals negative 3x. Negative 6 minus 3, negative 9 equals negative 3x. Divide both sides by negative 3. You get positive 3 equals x. And again, write your answers in ordered pair. 3, 3 is our final answer. Let's keep the ball rolling onto our, I think it's our last page. Is it the last page? Did I give you 9 questions? Nope, I was nice. It's our last page. Let's do it. So word problem here. So let's do it. So do our best to attempt it. These are called those value word problems. Whenever you see a dollar sign in the question, always going to be a value of some kind. So you have to create a value equation. Usually you can just skip these first sentence. I'll read it to you anyways, but honestly it is worthless information. Eduardo and Julia each improved their yards by planting hostas and ivy. They bought their supplies from the same store. So literally none of this is useful information. I don't care about them planting their stuff. Here we go. Eduardo spent $30 on 1 hosta and 5 pots of ivy. Julia spent $22 on 1. So now we have our actual interesting equation, because Eduardo did 1 hosta and 5 of these and spent $30. So he really did like 1 hosta plus 5 pots for a total of $30. And Julia spent on 1 hosta and 3 pots, and she spent 22. Now you might be able to do a little bit of shenanigans in your head and just figure it out right away, and if that's you, awesome. But let's actually just solve it using elimination. This is a really, really nice elimination question because I can simply subtract instead of adding, and it'll be awesome. So I'm just going to subtract this entire thing. 1 minus 1, boom, cancels, nothing, 0, don't have to write it. 5 minus 3 is 2. 30 minus 22 is 8. Divide both sides by 2, and p is equal to 4. And now if p is equal to 4, we can substitute it back in to the original equation. We don't need to write the 1 in front of the h. Subtract 20 on both sides. h is equal to 10, and there we go. If you wanted to be really fancy and, full English sentence it out, you could say one hosta costs $10 and one pot of ivy costs $4, but we're not going to go there. Don't want to go there. All right, let's read our next one. Tatsakan and Amanda are selling fruit for a school fundraiser. Customers can buy small boxes of oranges and large boxes of oranges. We do not care about any of this information, although I've never heard that name. That's an interesting name, Tatsakan. Tatsakan? Tatsakan? I've never had a student name that, and I've never met anyone with that name, so I don't know how to pronounce that. If anyone knows, feel free to tell me about it. Here we go. Tatsakan sold 11 small boxes of oranges and 11 large boxes of oranges, totaling $374. So we can say 11 small plus 11 large, 374. This sounds like a calculator problem for sure, by the way. Don't forget we can use Desmos, Wolfram Alpha, all of our buddies we've been using for all this time. Amanda sold 14 boxes and 3 large for $267, so 14 small plus 3 large for $267. Find the cost of each. So this is where you could do a lot of different things, but I want to remind everyone of a very, very important trick that can help you on any problems that are like this. Anytime that you notice that this is an 11 here, an 11, or a 12 and a 12, or an 8 and an 8, or anything that's the same, we can also check to see if 374 is also divisible by 11. And in this case, it is. It's going to be let's see, 330 is 30, and then 4 more, so 34. So I'm going to go ahead and divide this entire thing by 11. And when I do that, I'm going to get S plus L equals, and what did I just say it was 34? Please use a calculator. I don't know why I'm not using a calculator. I probably got that wrong. I'm going to be so embarrassed. I'm going to have to go back and fix it, and then I'm going to get comments. Oh, well. Okay. And then now we have to eliminate a variable. And if we had not done that, we would ended up with enormous numbers over here, multiplying this one by maybe -3 and the bottom one by -11, and then just huge numbers, and we won't have to deal with that. Now we can just make it nice and simple. Let's go ahead and multiply everything here, this top equation. Let's do it by -3. If we multiply that guy by -3, the L and the S we'll end up canceling there. So we'll have -3s minus 3l equals, and then 3 times 34, that's 90, and 12 is 112 negative. 14s minus 3s is 11s. That's 0, it cancels out. And 267 minus 112 is going to be 155. Did I do that right? I feel like I did that wrong because that doesn't come out nice and neat. Man, what did I do? Minus -3, 90. Oh, it's 102. 102. It's okay. It's okay. There's my comments. I fixed it fast enough. 165. That makes much more sense. Much more sense. Now I can divide both sides by 11. And it comes out to a nice and neat 15. And if S is 15, we can again substitute it up here. And we could say 15 plus L equals 34. Subtract 15 on both sides. And L is therefore equal to 19. And that's it. $15 for a small box and $19 for a large box. Let's move on to our very last question. So Crystal wants to make 12 milliliters of a 45% saline solution. So as a reminder, every single one of these questions that you want to solve always starts exactly the same. It is amount 1 times percent 1 plus amount 2 times percent 2 equals amount final times percent final. And amount 1 plus amount 2 equals amount final. And this is going to be a system of equations. And we just need to figure out what each one of these things is. Let's label it up. amount 1 equals percent 1 equals, and then amount 2 equals percent 2 equals amount final equals percent final equals. What are all these guys? So she wants to make 12 milliliters of a 45%. So that's where you want to end up. So you want to end up with 12 here and 45% there. And she's going to mix together a 90% solution in pure water. How much of each solution should she use? So we don't know either X or Y, so don't know the amount 1 or amount 2. And one of them has an amount percentage of 90, and the other one is pure water, which is 0% of salt. So now we just got to plug and chug. So we're going to have amount 1 times percent 1 is X times 90 plus Y times 0 equals 12 multiplied by 45. And then our amount 1 plus amount 2, X plus Y equals 12. All right, so this is gone. We don't need to write it. So X times 90 is 90X equals. And now here's a cutesy little trick. This is like a cool math trick that's like good to know if you're just trying to do problems fast. A lot of students want to multiply this out, right? But you don't have to. What I could do is divide both sides by 45 first. The reason why is because now 90 divided by 45 is just 2x equals 12. Divide both sides by 2. Nice and fast. X is equal to 6. And if x equals 6, then guess what? Y is also equal to 6, with 6 plus 6 equals 12. And that's it, guys. That is our entire assignment. Hopefully it wasn't too bad. Have a wonderful rest of your day, a wonderful little Easter weekend if you celebrate that, or Passover or whatever it is that you might celebrate. Have a great time, and yeah, I will see you guys hopefully finally on Monday morning. I'm looking forward to it. I'll talk to you guys then.